Hello, Starshine. My name is Liz, and this is my channel, Simsational Stories. If you have not seen my videos before and you enjoy this one, please like and subscribe. And maybe check out my Facebook page, where this whole thing began, as well. All relevant links are in the description below, and of course, if you're a Sims player and you'd like to download any of the characters featured in my stories, just search the hashtag Simsational Stories on the Sims 4 gallery. All original content is created by This Is Not Eric. Alrighty then. So, welcome. And what is up, Buttercup? Are you having a good day or a bad day? Whichever your answer, please allow me to distract you from your life and tell you a story, a Simsational story. Before I begin though, I'd like to issue this blanket content and trigger warning. The following story is just Sims, hey. I'm not going to apologise for treating them terribly, if that's what I've done. But I do want to assure you now that although I mean absolutely no harm, I completely understand if you feel unable to consume my content. Many loves, and we will catch each other on the internet elsewhere. Okay, so now we've gotten that over with, let's go. Today's story is from the Commune of Ohana Hale, and we're at chapter 2. If you have not seen the previous chapter and would like to catch up, there are playlists available on my channel so you can hear the entire story in chronological order. The rest of us are going to move on from where we left off last time though. So without further ado. Kailani Lunalilo had been offered a place at the Sulani commune of Ohana Hale, but she surprised founder Lucas Pointer with a polite rejection. Although she deeply appreciated the offer and loved what he had built, she wasn't at all interested in joining his commune. She had dreams of her own, dreams of finding love and starting a different kind of commune, all of her own, a simple, normal family. However, Kailani still had a part to play in Ohana Hale's destiny, for it was through her that Lucas found the next resident of Ohana Hale, young Sunflower Andrews, a teenage runaway in need of a safe refuge. The girl was only 17 years old and had been sleeping on Kailani's couch for the last few months. Before that, Kailani had found Sunflower sleeping on the streets of San Mishono. They had originally met through her work there as a DJ. Sunflower used to attend Kailani's gigs, and Kailani had found it strange that such a young girl was alone in the city, and so she had investigated, only to find out that the girl was a runaway. After realising that Sunflower was homeless, Kailani had befriended the young girl and eventually brought her home to stay. But the situation was untenable. Kailani was still so young herself, and wild teen Sunflower was just a little too much responsibility for her. The two had got on at first, but after a few weeks the tension began to build to bursting point. It didn't help that at one point Kailani had made contact with Sunflower's parents and tried to get them to take her home. Sunflower had not taken that interference well. It was Kailani's idea that Sunflower may be moved to Ohana Hale next. The prospect of another member for their small community was a welcome one, especially one so obviously in need of sanctuary. There she could find the freedom that she so deeply craved, yet also be looked after and learn to participate in something bigger than herself. And so Sunflower Andrews joined the Ohana Hale commune that Lucas Pointer had begun on the islands of Sulani. She was given a tent of her own, of course, and expected to participate in community volunteer days and learn how to live a sustainable lifestyle along with the rest of them. And it was at Sunflower's Welcome to Commune party that Kailani and Alejandro first met. They had both heard of each other, of course. Sulani was a small place. But this was where they met. It was the last thing either of them expected, but even back then, sparks flew between them. Alejandro's wife Dominique had died just 6 months beforehand, leaving him to raise their newborn son Angelo alone. He and his elderly mother had moved to Ohana Hale after Dominique's death, and it was only recently he had even begun to come back into the world of the living himself. Kailani understood loss. She had lost her own mother at a young age, and she was alone in the world now herself. At least Alejandro had his mother and the other residents of Ohana Hale to lean on, as well as his son, of course. Now that Sunflower had moved there, who did Kailani have? Despite her newfound loneliness, Keilani was so grateful to Lucas and his commune for taking Sunflower off her hands in a way that didn't make the poor girl feel like she was being abandoned all over again. This way, Keilani and Sunflower could remain friends, and with Lucas and his commune's help, hopefully she would grow into herself. And indeed, at first Sunflower fit into Ohana Hale quite well. The place was warm and welcoming, with a huge emphasis placed on expressing oneself, however one needed or wanted to. And in fact, the other residents were all so accepting of her odd little quirks in personality that she felt truly comfortable with herself for the first time in her life. Sunflower also quickly became close with Alejandro's mother, Nina. The old lady had such a vibrant and bright spirit. Her personality shone through from her with a magic almost entirely unrelated to her mystical talents. For a long time, Sunflower didn't even realise she was a witch. Nina Varela was a witch all right though, and her handsome young son Alejandro was a warlock as well. The two practiced their magic at Ohana Hale without shame, and Sunflower found herself admiring their skill with envy. If only she could do that. For now though, Sunflower was content. For the first time in her life, she had a real home that was her own. She was respected as an adult, basically, and she could and did make her own decisions. Lucas had told her that Ohana Hale meant family home, and Sunflower couldn't think of a more fitting name for the place. And that brings us to the end of Chapter 2 of The Commune of Ohana Hale. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can tune in soon to hear the next chapter. Or like I said, look us up on Facebook. Bye!